we can put this thing back together. And these are the parts that I got from the junkyard earlier. And this is how much it cost me. $71.42 for the whole thing, which is a good deal. And the good news that I was telling you guys about, if you have a M2Y4 transmission or M2F4, those short gearing transmission, if you want a fifth gear from Honda Accord, so you would have a cruising speed when you go to the freeway, when you are traveling on the freeway, that your RPM is not really, it's not wailing so much. You know, like 80 miles an hour, you're already at 4,000 RPM. Well, this is just for some guys that wanted more like a 6th gear. If you go to synchrotech.com, I'm not sponsored by them, but look for this one right here, SGH068 GS5 0.68 ratio. The description: these are direct fitment for the 9801 CRV and 9201 H22 Prelude. The ratio is 0.68. It has 35 teeth and 24. Now the fitting, these are all the code: H22, M2Y4, M2U4, M2F4, M2A4, and M2B4. This is exactly, this gearing is exactly the same thing what I have here. This is a 5th gear from Accord, and it costs $262.45. So with taxes and everything, I'll say about $280 or $290, but still, it's a good deal. There's your solution for some serious owners that wanted a cruising speed on the freeway if you have a Honda Prelude. Got the parts all laid out. I'm getting ready to reassembly. Just to recap, this is part 2 of the M2S4 5th gear grind, the fix. These are the gears that I got from the junkyard earlier, and these are the bad parts that I'm going to replace. These are no good. Yeah, it's no longer have that pointy appearance, and it's all angled up and everything together with the sleeve. Yeah, it's a shame. Oh heck. It's a mat set. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to replace or install this one, remove this one, and put this on there. That way I don't have to worry about some growling sound, meaning there's plenty of clearances in between these two. Yeah, I just don't want to change just this part to find out later on that it's not a match set anymore, just to save myself a headache down the road. Sometimes you would see a shaving material right about here. I believe the material is coming from the nut, so it's a good thing to stop and check, verify that there is no shaving material right in that area on the recess. That way you don't mess up the thread when you put it back in. Honda service manual is telling us to replace this, put a new one on there. I'm not sure if this is still available, but it's up to you if you want to use it or not. If you're in doubt, just follow the service manual and spread that tab. Let's see. Let me show you the shavings that I'm talking about. Right there. See right there? Yeah, I'm not sure if it's coming from the nut or the shaft itself, but regardless, yeah, you will see it. And remove your lock washer, and this go on a certain way. One side is concave, facing down. If your countershaft, the bearings and all the gears is a little bit too tight, that you won't be able to separate it by using your hand, by pulling it, all you have to do is put the nut back in. That way it won't damage the thread, and you put it on your table and drop it just like that. But this one, it's loose, so no problem there. See how I pulled it off like that? So stock it like that. That way you will know how everything is laid out. My instructions doesn't supersede the procedures on the maintenance manual. Mine is just like another guide, that's all. Let me see if I can separate this. Washer first. The bearing. Make sure to put some oil in it. The friction damper. It has 3 tabs. Just line it up like so. Now the synchro. Make sure to check the spring, the condition of the spring, and also the teeth. Make sure it's not worn out. Make sure it's still in good condition. Just line it up on the slots like that. Grab your first gear and just drop it like so. Something wrong. There you go. For a minute there. All right. So next is, you got the friction damper, you got the hub. Now the sleeve. Check the condition. Make sure there's no wear or the teeth are all messed up, and it can only go one way. This is my key right here. There's 3 sets, one here, one there, and one here. Okay, drops right in. Put some oil in it. The synchro. See those 3 tabs? The inner. It goes like so. And the inner brass, the slots has to line up on the inside. Like there, like that. Then line it up again. Next is the spacer, collar, and this has to be put on together. If you have a new friction damper, go ahead and do that. And it goes down like so. Those 3 holes has to line up on those 3 tabs. Facing down. This is the 2nd gear. And I'm just gonna line it up. Okay. You hear how it drops in there? The bearing. Put some oil. This is 4th gear. This is what I'm going to use. This is a match set that I got from the junkyard. This is 24 teeth, and the main shaft is 35 teeth. Now it's the bearing. Drop right in. Make sure to put some lube on there. Put some oil. This one is next. This is next. The groove goes on top. Spring washer is next. This is concave, facing down. The nut is next. Make sure to oil it. $94. Right there, just like that. Next to build, the main shaft, and this is the washer and the spring washer. See how the spring washer is concave, so it's a springy. It goes like so. There. And the washer. Then the input shaft. Bearings first. Put some oil. Make sure to do all your inspection before you put everything together. The gap on this, on your synchro, so you can find out if it's not worn out or it's still within limits. Then your synchro. Make sure to check all your synchro for clearances. Check the springs and put it like so. The synchro hub there, specifically it tells you to put it like so, right there, facing down, right by my thumb. Your transmission is M2F4, it's the other way around, it's reverse. So for my transmission it will be like this. All I need to do is line up this tab, the small tab right there, the sleeve, onto the hub. They want it facing down, so this has to face up. Like that. So if you have M2F4, it's the other way around. But on mine, they want it facing down. Want it like this. These tabs, 3 tabs, has to line up here on those spaces. It won't work right if you didn't line it up correctly. You would have a space. Yeah, it would not sit right. So, put some oil. That's the synchro with the spring. Again, these tabs, it will line up to the tab on the hub. And drop it in like so. Put some oil. There in. Next is 5th gear. Right there. Put some oil. I'm right here now. The top is shallow than the lower part. Now the synchro hub. One side is shallow than the other. The shallow one facing on top. And there's a master. It has to go in a certain way. The collar on the outside, one side has a groove, and per instructions it has to face down. Master right there. There you go. Okay, let's put some oil. Let's put the collar, bearing, synchro, line it up, drop in. Now this one. Put some oil right there. Okay. This will be last, and I'll put this on later on. Right, put this on the side. Okay, so this is done. I'm gonna put it on the table and join them together.